All right, what's going on, folks? How y'all doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. We're doing great here. I'm flying kind of solo. Pam's got a little bronchitis thing going on, and she's in the other room in there because she didn't want to disturb us. She got a little cough going on, and she didn't want to disturb what's going on. But if I get out of line, she's gonna shout at me. You can bet on that. But let's see who we got in the house here tonight. Looks like Glenn Anderson was number one. Thank you, buddy, so much. Hey, Deo's in Pittsburgh with Mama. I know that. That's great. Kim and NC Prepper is with us tonight. Thank you guys for joining me. Hope we're going to see you soon, and that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. Come on down. TUK's back. Yeah, there we go. And Tammy Joe, one of the original OP cheerleaders. Debbie Jones is with us, and I know Rob's there. So hopefully you guys are doing great. There you go. Hope you're doing great as well. If you hear it in my voice already, I got a little frog going on here. You know, I thought this is unusual. It seems to happen every time this time of year. And I went back and reviewed a video from a year ago, back in the spring. And it must be something in the air because the same thing was happening then that's happening right now. There's just something going on. Must be the pollen. That's got to be what it is. Buzz Runner's in the house. There we go. J1 is back. All right. JS Genesis Design. What's going on, brother? Hope everything's going well down there. I'm glad you got a notification this time, but just come on over here Thursday night at 8 o'clock. I'll be here. If I'm not going to be here, I'll post a comment in the community board to let you know that I won't be on. But I'm here pretty much every Thursday night, 8 o'clock. Texas Raider, my man right there. All right. Come on down. Let's see who else we got here. Lynn Stalker's with us, my girl up in Ocala. Yeah, there's Rural. There's the man right there. We had a good show over there last night. Hopefully you guys made it. I know after last night, he gave me a little plug over there. I picked up a few new subscribers, so hopefully they're here tonight. If they come along and watch a replay, appreciate you guys being here. Be a good time for me to explain what I do. None of my videos are political, have political content. None of them. They're usually about prepping, building something, showing you how to save money, promoting a product you can save money on or something. But on Thursday nights, that's when we talk politics. So if it's your first time here, this is what you hear tonight is not what I do in my videos. But things are going on that we do need to talk about in the political world, and we do that on our live stream on Thursday night. The great state of Washington's with us. All right. Thank you so much, Carrie. There's Craig, the radio man. Me and him talked the other day. I was going to put together a video on Tuesday. I talked to him, got a great idea for a video. I'm going to do it. But let me tell you why I didn't do it. I'm sitting out there on Tuesday reading through all the news sites and stuff that I go through every morning, and I spilled orange juice on my computer, right on the keyboard. Bam, instantly I got the blue screen of death. And since then, I've been working my butt off to get this computer back. And finally I did, thank goodness. I actually went out and bought another one just in case. But I actually got this one back running again. So, hey, all right. Thank you, Craig, for dropping in. Who else we got? My man Doug right there. I ain't seen you in a while. Thank you, sir, so much for being with us. Kathy C. in the Iowa crowd. All right. We got a birthday we got to call out. Got to give a shout out to Marcia. Today's her 29th birthday. All right. All right. Thank you for being with us. Come on down. Who we got here? Scruffy's with us tonight. Hey, Scruffy, good to see you. Demo man Don is back. Man, I got a good bunch. There's Grits and Grace right there. All right. Thank you so much for being here. David T4 is in the house. What's Kim got going here? Feels better. Oh, she's saying she hopes she feels better. I wish she'd hurry up and get better too. Who we got right here? Katie's back with us. There we go. Wanda Landry. Man, oh man, thank you guys. Thank all of you for showing up here tonight. Come on down. Who we got? There's my girl right there from Tennessee. Yeah, you're not late. You're just fashionably on time. There we go. Yeah. What's this? Go Disney World? Nah, not in this house. That ain't happening. Schwackhammer's back, my man. All right. Thank you so much. Come on down. Who else we got down here? I'm getting close to the end, so I know that's about it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Doug's wishing Marsha a happy birthday. All right. There we go. So hopefully you guys got through the week okay and you kept your eyes on what's going on in the world. But like I said, this is our political commentary broadcast. Let me do that. So, but let's get right into it. Right off the bat, I'm sure you guys remember way back earlier in the week when Spain had their blackout over there, Spain, Portugal, a couple of other places around Europe. There has not been an official explanation for that I've heard. But from what I heard, they said there was a power surge in the system. That sounded like a solar flare to me, but they never really said that. They did automatically eliminate that it was a hack, that somebody hacked the system. And I don't think they did because they wouldn't have had a power surge in the system. Sounded like a solar flare to me. So hopefully they got that straight. I'm pretty sure they do. They said it was going to take a few days to get it right. So hopefully that's done. And those people aren't living in the Stone Age anymore. But if that happens to us tomorrow, are you ready? You need to make sure you get ready. Bill Kilmer dropped in. All right. Watching from Gators Dockside on Narcoossee Road. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Tell them to put it on the big screen. Might be a lot of folks there that want to see this. Yeah. Thank you for coming in. But let's get on with our normal political foolishness that we do every week. Here's the winner. Our boy Adam Schiff reintroduced Dianne Feinstein's ban on AR-15 rifles, AKs, whatever, what they call assault rifles. There's no such thing until you use a firearm to assault somebody, then it's an assault weapon. But he reintroduced that bill into the Senate, making an ass of himself. So that's not going to pass. But if it does, ain't going to be pretty. They're going to keep pushing. The liberals are going to keep pushing these issues. And they're going to get something they don't want. It's that simple. I'm going to let that go right there. They need to wake up. I mean, why would anybody want to disarm you? If you're not bothering them at all, why would they want to disarm you? It's because they have plans to do something to make you want to use those arms. That's why they want to disarm you. But like I said, they're going to keep pushing. They're going to get something they don't want. And we're going to get into that a little more here in just a few minutes. Here's something else that happened that I thought was pretty fun. CBS actually, their 60 Minutes interview with Kamala, where they doctored that, trying to fix her statement where it would look good on the Sunday night before the election. Donald Trump sued him for $20 billion. And in the process, the producer of the program, Bill Owens, is that his name? Yeah, Bill Owens. He had to resign. And Scott Pelley, who actually did the interview, he's on shaky ground. And now CBS is trying to negotiate a monetary settlement with Donald Trump. But I don't think it's going to be quite as gentle as the one he got from ABC. If you remember, he sued ABC for $50 million, and they settled for $15 million. But this one right here, I think he's really kind of pissed off about it, and he should be. the way they tried to fix things. I think it's going to cost them a lot more than 15 million, even though they did tell the producer of the program he was done. And like I said, Scott Pelley's shaking in his boots. He's afraid he's about to lose his job. But we'll see how that shakes out. That was pretty fun when I saw that earlier today. What else happened here? Here we go, Texas. What the hell happened to Texas? They passed a law in Texas that if you do any kind of political commentary, if you're a politician or, somebody that's reporting on a story, or just people like me sitting here giving my political opinions. In Texas, they have to post a disclaimer on any videos or anything like that, any written material, anything. They have to post a political disclaimer before and after their commentary. If they make money in the process. Like I said, here I am sitting right here. I'm giving my political views. They're just my views, my ideas. But if I lived in Texas, I'd have to post a political disclaimer at the start and the finish of this video. What the hell happened to Texas? That's crazy. That's one of the states I thought would be free forever. Obviously not. It's nope, ain't happening. Let's see what else happened here. With the stock market going up and down, I don't know what the hell happened to my counter here. I don't know what's wrong with my software. My counter is gone. If I run under 30 or over 30 minutes, I got no idea because my counter is not here. But the way the dollar is fluctuating up and down, a lot of people think BRICS is going to push gold prices up to about $6,000 an ounce with the trade wars going on. I don't think it will get that high anytime soon, but I could be wrong. But I know today the dollar went back up, which pushed gold and silver down. So I just don't see that happening anytime soon. And all of the warnings we saw for the last 2 or 3 years about the dollar dying and countries jumping off of the dollar. And JP Morgan, if you remember, I talked about this several times. They were predicting how the dollar was headed for a crash. Well, everybody's backed off of that now. It's because they know, even though the economy right now is kind of up and down, they know that America's about to come back strong and the dollar's going to get strong. And that's a good thing. Of course, we had those market changes where it was down 1,000, and then the next day it was up 400 or 500, and then it was down 1,000, and the next day it was up 100 or 1,000. And now if you watch the market, it's fluctuating between $200 and $300 and $400 up and down. That's a steady market. That's what we need. We don't need a market that's up and down like an elevator. We need one that's kind of in that range all the time. That means it's solid where it is. And that's a good thing. Thank goodness we changed administrations and people are looking at the US dollar differently now than they were just a few years ago, or a couple of years ago, I should say. And, people are complaining, my 401k got raped. Yeah, it did, because it was based on junk bonds. It's that simple. There's still a lot of junk in that market. It might survive. It might take a hit. We don't know. But it's not as bad as it was. And that's a good thing. When that market just fluctuates 200 or 300 points, that means it's steady, guys. And steady is always good. So I don't see that happening with the market. Gold, I'm sorry. I don't see it jumping up that high anytime soon. What we got here? If you know how blue Austin is, we know how blue Austin is. Many people there moved into Texas from blue states. That's right. They're turning Texas blue because they're moving in from California. They're running from California into Texas because they don't like the high taxes and all the stupid regulations in California. And then they go to Texas and they vote liberal again. And they can't figure out why wherever they go, it turns to crap. Well, they're the problem. It's that simple. They are the problem. Bingo. Ain't no big secret. They just don't want to admit the truth. They're wrong and they will not change. It's that simple. What else happened here? Here we go. This one right here. This one I don't like, guys. A lot of people think it's great that the U.S. signed into that minerals deal with Ukraine, but I don't like it for one simple reason. Now we're tied to Ukraine like we're tied to Saudi Arabia, Syria, United Arab Emirates, and other Middle Eastern countries. We're tied to them because of their resources, and we have to defend them. And now Ukraine falls into that category. And Ukraine's at war. Now we have to defend them. We're in business with them. We're linked with them at the hip. So basically, what you're going to hear probably in a couple of months is, once this thing gets going, it gets into place and everything gets popping. If Russia attacks Ukraine, they're attacking the United States interests, just like oil. That's what they did when they signed that deal. Which means we'll never get out of there until Russia decides they don't want to fight anymore. Don't take a genius to figure that out. When a simple little redneck like me knows that, everybody should be able to know it. It's that simple. But hey, who knows what we got going right here? Ukraine doesn't have mineral deposit. Experts say proposed deal with the U.S. makes no sense. Well, it all depends on who you're talking to. There ain't no secret. It's not a big secret they have some minerals over there we need. That's not, and you're going to have some people that just don't like this deal, even worse than I do. And they're going to say, well, we shouldn't have done that. There's nothing over there we need. They don't have the amount of minerals we need. Well, it don't matter. The deal's been signed, and now we're locked in. And we're going to have to act like it. We're going to have to defend it. It's that simple. And I don't like it. But I'm not the one making those deals. So, I just thought it was wrong. So, all righty then. Now, we're going to get to the point of this topic tonight. And it's the coup that's actually going on in this country. It's happening in real time. We're watching it. It's happening every day somewhere. A liberal judge, federal judge, is taking the power of the president away. It's happening every day. Here's a good example of it from yesterday. This freak that thinks it's a woman that bombed the Tesla dealership in Missouri, the federal judge said they have to let him go. The reasons were that they were basically sick, mentally disturbed. So this court is ruling that this person's gender dysphoria is a mental illness and they need to seek care. But they didn't say what that care was. They didn't say if it was, let him, it's a him, it's not a her, even though the media keeps insisting that she, no, it's him. They didn't say if they need to let him out so he can seek mental treatment or if he can seek transition treatment. They didn't say, they didn't specify. But the judge decided that he needs to be let go because he's mentally disturbed. Well, they have this thing called guilty, but, they're mentally ill. Yeah, they have that now. This person committed this crime, even though they're mentally ill, and they still have to stand trial for it, but obviously not. That's just one example. Every day, one of these federal judges is stepping in and taking the power away from the President of the United States. That's a coup d'etat, folks. We've had federal judges tell the president he couldn't cut wasteful spending. He couldn't cut federal departments. He can't kick dangerous people out of the country, immigrants, illegal immigrants out of the country. These are federal rulings that have come down. They're dead against the Constitution of the United States and the President of the United States. So they're basically taking his power away every day. One of these stupid rulings come down. You know what the president needs to do? What Joe Biden did when they told him he couldn't cut student loan money. You know, he couldn't do away with student loans. Just do like Joe did and tell him, stick it. I'm going to do what I want to do. That's what he needs to do, because what they're doing is illegal. But with this Supreme Court we have, there's actually only two conservatives on that court right now. That's Alito and Thomas. That's it. The rest of them are either straight up liberals or they're rhinos. And sadly, Trump put three of them on the court that have ruled against him time and time again on issues that are clear cut against the Constitution. But I'm not going to get into that right here because that's my opinion. All right, I've seen these rulings. You guys know I'm pretty familiar with the legal system. But I've watched even the Supreme Court pass down rulings that are unconstitutional. This is what creates civil war. Nobody wants that to happen. I don't want it to happen. You shouldn't want it to happen. But that's what these people are pushing. They're pushing us into a corner, saying, yes, you have to do these illegal things, these unconstitutional things, because this judge said so or that judge said so. That's what creates division in a country and is going to push it to the limit. Like the one I started out with Adam Schiff and his gun ban. That ain't going to fly. I don't give a damn if it goes through the Senate and the House of Representatives with 100% vote. Ain't going to work. Saying it's one thing, doing it's another. But they're going to keep pushing this thing, and it's going to get bad, and they're not going to like the result because it's going to be really ugly. This coup d'etat by the judicial system has to stop. If it don't, we won't make another 3.5 years. Never in my life have I ever said the United States will not survive this. It's stronger, it's bigger, it's better than the problems that pop up. But when you have two branches of government like this at each other's throat, creating division on purpose, we can't do that. We can't do that for 3 years. And heaven help us if the liberals win either the House of Representatives or the Senate in 26. We're done. It's that simple. But that's my opinion on that. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I thought I was wrong, a couple of times, and I really wasn't. And those were mistakes on my part. But one more thing. I'm gonna talk about this, and then we're gonna get out of here. But I got a little tribute at the end. I want you guys to stick around and watch. Please, please stick around and watch it. But the problem with the supply chain right now, coming out of China with the tariffs, everybody's saying, by late May or mid-June, the stores are going to be out of products. You're going to be, you're going to go into Walmart, you're going to go into Target or wherever, and there's going to be empty shelves everywhere. Might happen, guys. way things are going right now, it might happen. And everybody's saying if there's something you need to go out and get it now. That's common sense. If you need it, go get it. Don't wait. I watched a couple of channels. There are guys that I watch every day. Oh, you can hear that frog in my throat. Hang on. There are guys that I watch every day that are, saying, oh, it's going to get bad. There's not going to be any food. You're not going to be able to get this. You're not going to be able to get that. Well, I'm not here to scare you. All right. I'm just here to recommend that if there are things that you need them now, go out and get them now. Don't wait. Not because they might not be there in a month, but because you need them. It's that simple. But the food supply, they're talking about the food supply. There's some of them out there talking about that. Okay, that's great. If you're watching me, I've been telling you for about 3 years now, a little over 3 years. Stock up that food. It shouldn't be a problem for you. I got no doubt that it's not a problem for a bunch of you. No doubt at all. But if things do get that bad, you need to be ready. I have no doubt that many of you are, but there might be a few of you that's not. Don't go crazy and get scared and run out there and buy a bunch of stuff that you don't need. You don't need right now. But if you need something, go get it. It's that simple. I'm not here to scare you like some of these guys are. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be honest with you. But hey, hopefully you're staying on top of it. I have no doubt you are. None whatsoever. You've been watching what's going on in Washington and around the world, and you know what's happening. And I'm glad you do. All right. Now, I'm going to get out of here, but I'm going to close with this because something very important happened. We lost a member of our virtual family last week, a week ago yesterday. Miss Lori passed away. Where'd I go? There I am. Miss Lori passed away. And sadly, we won't get to see her anymore. Bless her heart. She was so sweet. I loved her. Me and Lady Prepper got to go visit her one afternoon. She lived over near the West Coast. We took an afternoon and went over there and visited with her, and I'm glad we did. But we lost her a week ago yesterday. So I'm going to get out of here with this, guys. Remember her and keep her family in your prayers. But I want to share this with you because I think this is what she did after her last breath. She saw Jesus Christ, and this is what she did.
Woo, here comes the happy dance. Woo.
All right. Stay strong. Keep prepping and pray for the USA. The Orlando Prepper is out.